All right, welcome to our Thrive Against Cancer presentation. We are going to cover with our friend Frank Granett, clinical pharmacist. He's going to go over some of the ingredients of our new DFT that we have just launched, Thrive Against Cancer, or known as TAC, DFT, Dermafusion Technology. We have the most powerful engineered formula that the company has made yet. Lavelle has produced and outdone themselves just one more time and created an incredible wearable nutrition DFT, dermafusion technology that we can utilize for weight management. And Frank is I'm going to pass it over to him. He's going to go through the ingredients of this DFT. But just before I do that, I want to say that our DFT is a third step in a 3 simple step process. So let me tell you, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, you're going to take these Thrive capsules, 2 capsules on an empty stomach before your feet even hit the floor. Drink down some water. Those contain a lot of probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, and a lot of great ingredients to help you jumpstart your day. 20 to 30 minutes later, you're going to mix up one of our lifestyle shake mixes. They come in vanilla and chocolate and strawberry and apple pie and peppermint and pumpkin spice, filled with a ton more probiotics and nutrients to keep your body going all day long. And then our third step is our DFT, the dermafusion technology that we are going to share with you tonight. This is one of many different DFTs that we carry. It is our newest, latest, greatest one with a cause behind it too, which is Thrive Against Cancer. And each quarter, or I should say each month, our DFT is going to be supporting research efforts on a specific type of cancer, and $5 for every package of these DFTs that we sell will go towards that foundation that we are supporting that month. So February was colorectal cancer, March is kidney cancer, April is testicular cancer, May is brain cancer, and then we go into the next quarter, which is going to be June is leukemia, and July is lymphoma, August is prostate cancer, September is bone cancer, and then the last quarter of the next quarter will be October, which is breast cancer. We have always done the breast cancer awareness DFTs, and we've just decided to take this all year long. We'll go into November with liver cancer, December pancreatic cancer, and January cervical cancer. So we'll be giving $5 for every single one of these packages that will support the cause of more research, more in-depth research on each one of those types of cancer. So that is our good cause that goes along with our product line here that we're sharing with you tonight. But the point of this presentation is to go through a little bit more on the ingredients of this specific DFT. I've never seen a DFT with this many ingredients in it yet, and so many buzzwords in this ingredient list. But let me first pass it over, introduce you to my friend Frank Granett. He's a clinical pharmacist director over 2 hospitals here in the Metro Detroit area. And before I butcher any more of his bio, I'm going to let him share with you a little bit of his background. He also has a nonprofit organization that is the Coalition Against Over-Medicating Our Youth. And I'll let him tell you a little bit about that too, and how you can get in touch with him if you have any questions on that for him. So Frank, why don't you take it away for us?
Thanks, Jessica, for having me on for this great cause, cancer prevention and awareness. And just a brief background about myself, entering my 34th year now in pharmacy practice. Many, many thousands of consultative services completed over those years. And I can't think of a better time right now, especially with what our country's going through and how to help people navigate through the process of staying healthy. So again, 34 years, like you said, the Coalition Against Over-Medicating Our Youth, it's a passion of mine. How do we use drug therapy? And, before we get to drug therapy, what do we need to do before we get to that road? What we do in our organization is help people navigate through that process, if you will. So with that said, today's discussion is how do we optimize weight management as well as energy enhancement? And with the summer months coming, it's just not about looking good. This is all about staying healthy or if we're already healthy, preventing disease from coming aboard us, and obesity. And, it's an epidemic in our country. And what we need to do is today, before we get to the best for last, Jessica, we like to save the best for last with phytonutrients and phytonutrient supplementation. So we're going to talk in depth about the patch, but there's two words I'd like you to kind of jot down today. It's your homework assignment, if you will. The one is very easy. It's an acronym, and it's PKA. It stands for protein kinase A. Start doing your homework on that, because if you want to lose that deep visceral body fat or belly fat, if you will, if this enzyme or group of enzyme class does not get activated or turned on within the cell, guess what? You're not going to have good results. You might, do these other lifestyle interventions, watch what you're eating, et cetera. But if that process is not activated, it's not going to be a pleasant road for you. So we're going to show you how phytonutrition and supplementation helps with that process. The second term, I'd like everybody to understand and do their own homework, because I can spend at least an hour on just this one topic, and it's called methylation. So before our enzymes can get into the cells and do its job with fat cell breakdown, if you will, if our bodies are not methylating, and methylation is a term which 60% of Americans right now are genetically deficient. We have a genetic deficiency to methylate. So there's very critical supplementation. And through my email, you can reach out to me, Frank Granett at caooy.org, and we can go through that process. There's easy oral tests, swab tests for that to determine if you are in fact deficient in methylation. Because if that's not working or optimal in the cell, and we can actually test for that, then guess what? PKA activation is not going to happen. And again, our ability to go after deep visceral body fat, get our bodies healthy, get rid of that toxic fat. And then here's the last homework assignment. It's going to be, what color is that deep toxic fat? Even if you only need to lose 5 or 7, 10 pounds thereabouts, what color is that toxic fat that it's called a deep visceral fat, and it can line our artery walls, it can line our liver, line our pancreas. So that gets into the problem of, when we're looking on becoming healthy, that's a critical point to know and understand how all this works. So again, copy those tips down, get your own homework going on that. So what I'd like to do, and we had our last video about the gut health, the brain-gut connection, just real brief, Jessica. Like everybody to understand, go to that video first before you review this one, because it's all going to connect. It's going to, the messaging that goes on between our gut system, which is predominantly the stomach and small intestine. There's actually messaging that goes on between the enteric nervous system and the central nervous system with regard to cravings, with regard to messaging to the brain, et cetera, for weight management. So understand why our biotic product is very critical to take at night while you're going through, like Jessica said, these 3 very simple steps done all in the morning. So with that said, phytonutrition is critical, and we can talk more about that, going forward here, Jess.
Okay. Do you want to go through a couple of the ingredients that are on this list?
Yeah, let's break it down, because many people don't understand when we're looking at weight management, energy enhancement. Here's what we need to realize. Like I said about the energy cycle within the fat cell, especially, when you're look at this list here. It's kind of small, but when you get the packaging, for those of you first time looking or viewing on a Lavelle or Thrive video here, there's a PDF for every formulation we have, for every product we have. This one is the granddaddy of them all when you're looking at weight management by far. It's the most comprehensively formulated product on the marketplace with patented dermafusion technology, like Jessica said earlier. But let's talk about cellular energy. What's in this product that is so effective with activating? In other words, when we have, now this is a disclaimer that the patch system has not been clinically studied. However, these ingredients, and again, I want you to do your homework. We can go hours into each product, but each ingredient, but like, first of all, forskolin, it's called Forskolin, it's a proprietary name within the patch system. It's called forskolin extract. It's a plant phytonutrient. This gets inside that cell. Many studies on forskolin that talk about PKA, like I talked about earlier. How do we activate that internal cellular process with methylation. Well, forskolin is one of these ingredients, very powerful. You can do your own homework on that. I look at clinical studies behind forskolin, and it's very effective. Then we go into guarana extract, another powerful plant phytonutrient. Then we have green bean extract, also known as chlorogenic acid. And then we get into green tea extract. Many properties with green tea, obviously, we all know it's a powerful antioxidant, also energy enhancement within the cell. So understand that. Oh, this is good right here. So this list, it's pretty comprehensive. Like I say, the green bean extract in there. When you're looking at, also go down further when we're looking at quercetin and then the pterostilbene, those are two, pterostilbene is a polyphenol. Now that's energy enhancement as well as the quercetin. And when we're looking at interior to the cell, the mitochondria, we all know Bio 101, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of that cell. So when you build those, you're building energy. So the quercetin actually has a powerful antioxidant. You get that in wild blueberries mainly, but when you're looking at a plant extract, that's powerful energy enhancement within the cell. And then you look at, now we go into like cravings, mood support, et cetera. The 5-HTP, for those of you who don't know the acronym, what that acronym means, it's 5-hydroxy tryptophan. Now this is a precursor, like I said a moment ago, why is that gut health or GI system health very critical? Well, 5-HTP is predominantly produced in the gut and small intestine area, and that's a precursor to the production of serotonin, which is produced obviously in the brain, a powerful neurotransmitter for mood support, et cetera. So you need that as you're going through weight management. 5-HTP is another critical, powerful addition to the product ingredient list. Ceteriol. Now, ceteriol is most of you have heard the term saffron extract. That's a powerful extract. That's actually the component within ceteriol. A lot of ceteriol studies out now, past and even present to this day, in weight management. Very effective in mood support, but also like the cravings, the feeling satisfied, if you will, with respect to caloric intake in food. So that's a powerful extract as well. Theanine, elderberry, oregano oil. Again, these are all critical ingredients. And when you look at this list, we could break each one of these down, Jessica, and really get into to discussions about each one. But I'd like everybody to understand it's more of a two-pronged approach with this PAP system. You got energy creation, enhancement, thermogenesis, that type of thing with these individual ingredients. There's a lot of studies behind the ingredients, not the patch, but the ingredients that help people can activate those pKa enzyme family enzyme systems within the cell. So that's a critical piece. So when we look at everything we have before us, like you say, the 3 steps, and those 3 steps act in synergy. The capsules, like I say, that gets our motor going in the morning. We do the shake, get some protein into us, more enzymes as well. And then you put this patch on, you've got clear energy going through your body all day long. And what most people, Jessica, don't realize is, they come into a weight management program or they want to get more energy and kind of get on with life and do more throughout the day. And then they're having sleep disruption pattern issues. That's because during the day, they don't have enough energy. So the idea with this system gives you that optimal energy, and we're all busy, whether it's kids, whether it's work, activities, et cetera. That 3-step system with synergy helps us get from point A to B. And as time goes on, it's not going to be overnight, but as time goes on, that sleep pattern will adjust positively as well.
Yeah, I feel like oregano oil, this is the first time I've seen oregano oil in one of our DFTs. Now, oregano oil for me, we keep that on hand in the house if we feel like we're coming down with something. It's funny, my 14-year-old son, since he was probably about 7 or 8, if he feels like he's coming down with something, he'll even ask for it, and it's potent. I mean, if you put a dropper in some water and drink it, it's extremely potent, and that's what we've used it for, is really immune fighting. Feel like you're coming down with something, take a little bit of oregano oil, it kind of knocks it out. So why in the DFT? Do you think it's being used for immune support in this actual DFT, or could there be another?
It's a combination, immune support, but remember all these ingredients, think of this, and when DFT first came about many years ago, Jessica, there was a lot of naysayers of, well, how can we get all these phytonutrients to absorb through the skin? Well, when you have these lipid-based type ingredients. It's a two-pronged. Immunity is one, obviously, but also it does help with the absorption of these phytonutrients as well. So it's a combined, the cosmoperine as well that's listed here. That's another kind of vehicle, if you will, for these phytonutrients. You look at limonene and aloe vera. Those are vehicles, if you will, to get these prominent phytonutrients in the system. The key premise for all of this, and if we want to lose that toxic belly fat, I don't care about looking good. That's not what it's about. It's about preventing heart disease. That's the #1 killer in our country, cancer and diabetes. So that's the triad, if you will, to our mortality in our country, especially. So when we can get these phytonutrients in, it's not to say that, okay, you go on the system and everything's going to be great. It's going to help you, yes. But like we talked in our last video about the brain-gut connection, how important dietary intervention with phytonutrition as well. We always talk about broccoli, raw radishes, celery. These are all phytonutrients that actually help that gut system get healthy. And then you take that biotic at night. I am recommending that to everybody. This 3-step system plus the biotic product at bedtime, that's basically going to help clean out your tract through the night over time. It's not, one night shot. This is something you would take every night, and that's going to give you the best opportunity along with mild exercise. That's the other thing. People, they go on these weight management programs, try and get healthy, and they feel they got to exercise 24 hours a day. They got to reduce their calories in half. It's not what it's about. It's about eating right, modify your calorie intake, go lower on the carbs, and get higher on the phytonutrients, like I was saying, with the raw phytonutrient dense nutrients, as well as the supplements that we have here.
Well, I appreciate you breaking this down for us. And I love the term you used, vehicle. There are some ingredients in this DFT that are actually vehicles that they're going to deliver through our body's largest organ, the skin. That's what I love about this DFT is we are taking, I tell the story 5.5 years ago when I first decided to attach my name to this company. I came to you and I came to my father, who's a chiropractor, and said, I need to know about this sticker patch thing. I don't quite understand it. And you guys both gave it your thumbs up, and I needed to just understand the technology behind what we had here. And I'll tell you what, today is the first day I am using this DFT. Mine came in the mail yesterday. And so I started this morning and I absolutely love it. I don't know that we can always feel every single one of these ingredients actually working. What I can tell you is I made the mistake last week of putting 2 of our stronger DFTs on in one day because I forgot that I put the one on in the morning and then I put another one on in the afternoon. And let's just say I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, but I felt way over energized and feeling like my appetite was like non-existent to the point of feeling a little nauseous. And it took me a little bit. And then I figured out I had I had 2 of the same DFT on, and I don't necessarily recommend that. It was a little bit much. And so I tell that story because sometimes people are like, well, can you really feel these things working for you? I'll be the first one to tell you can, because if you overdo it, you can definitely tell. But what I will tell you is with this DFT today, I feel like it has lasted quite a bit longer. The overall energy, and I will say that we have a black label patch that everybody calls our happy patch. It's our black label, and the white label has the 5-HTP in there. This 5-HTP today, I could tell a big difference. It's that the 5-HTP isn't in the DFT that I normally wear. So it was a big difference for me today, and I'm thrilled with it. I can't wait to keep using it.
And don't forget, Jessica, for all our viewers here, the DFT technology is far more advanced than it was 6 years ago. And that's the other piece of this where, like we were talking about the cravings, there's tremendous synergy going on between the Garcinia and then the, well, in the listing of ingredients, it's Soterio, but that's saffron extract. There's a lot of help with people's cravings, et cetera. So when you make that, when you're ready to, I would tell people this, don't buy this system unless you're ready mentally to go forward with your lifestyle change. And when you're ready to do that, it'll make it totally easy compared to what you've ever done in the past. And it's all about, it's just not about, like I said before, it's not just looking good. It's all about preventing chronic disease from coming upon.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for joining us again tonight, Frank. And we're going to wrap up here, and we'll see you guys on another product discussion here soon in the future. So thank you for your time tonight, Frank. And I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in.